UFC 314 just happened, and today I'm going to bring you the fights to make. Gerwin matchmaking, as you can see, I've pretty much copied the MMA Guru format just because I think it's the best way to do it and most convenient way. So thank you, MMA Guru, for helping me design my template right here. But without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to start off with the main man, the main event winner, the UFC 314 featherweight. I butchered that. Volkanovski won the featherweight belt back at UFC 314, and I think his next title defense should be against Movsar Evloev, the only deserving contender. Yair can fuck off, Gene Silva can fuck off, and anybody not named Movsar Evloev can fuck off. Only for multiple reasons. A, I think this is one of the easier title fights for Volkanovski to do well with. Evloev doesn't pack as much power as the rest of the featherweight division. Volk has great takedown defense. He's historically done well against good grapplers. Even against Islam Makhachev, he's had a very competitive fight, and Evloev is nowhere near Makhachev in overall skill. So I think this is, but Evloev is the next deserving number one contender, and this is a pretty easy fight. I think almost everybody has this fight, and yeah, if you don't, you're an idiot. All right, moving on to the main event loser, Diego Lopes. Another pretty easily self-explanatory one. Yair Rodriguez. Yair Rodriguez versus Diego Lopes. It would actually be a good fight. They had beef at the press conference that they can capitalize on. Makes an easy promotion. I don't know what you do with it though. If you put it on a pay-per-view, you can make it a fight night main event. It's very versatile. You can do a couple things with it. You can maybe, I don't know when the Mexican card is. They usually do. They usually do it in September. You could put it on that as like a co-main or something. Maybe a feature fight if you have two title fights, something like that. But yeah, this is definitely the fight to make. And yeah, moving on to the co-main event where Paddy Pimblett defeated Michael Chandler via brutal domination. And I think Paddy's next opponent should be Charles Oliveira, because I think he should fight the loser of Ilya Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. Whether that, like, it could be Ilya, but I think it'll be Charles. I don't know. It's a very close fight, it's 50-50. But Paddy Pimblett should fight the loser of that number one contender fight. So Islam's gonna fight Arman. That's what should happen. Then he fights the winner of Ilya and Charles, and then if Paddy beats Charles, he gets the title shot. It's a whole thing, but he should get this top contender fight. It's the hardest one probably for him to take. If they want an easy fight, they can lay him up with Gaethje, because he would kill Gaethje. But I don't think they'll do that. I think they'll give him Oliveira. He should get Oliveira. He deserves it, earned it. And yeah, this could be the co-main of a card of a pay-per-view. Should be a great co-main. You could low-key main event it if you have a stacked undercard of a pay-per-view, but I doubt they would do that. I don't think they should do that. I'm just saying you could because of their big names. But yeah, Paddy Pimblett versus Charles Oliveira is the fight to make. Moving on to Michael Chandler. Now, at first I had a different idea of who you should fight, but I did draw some inspiration from Mr. Bedtime MMA. I think that it's just the perfect fight. Chandler versus Pitbull, only because they have beef. It's marketable. You could sell it. You could just milk the last bit of relevancy these two have, and the one who wins will get some relevancy back. The one who loses is probably going to retire because there's nothing left for them. If you want to keep Pitbull at featherweight, you're going to have him fight somebody in that like 15 to 12 range because he got dominated by Yair. It wasn't even close. He's got to work his way back up, but he's already too old. So you want to keep him around for fun fights. That's a fun fight. That's a very fun fight you can make between Pitbull and Michael Chandler, just because of their history. But yeah, that could be like, I don't know, the opener of a pay-per-view or something. I guess, yeah, just so they can get in the podium of the press conference. Moving on, Gene or John, however you say it, Silva. He defeated Bryce Mitchell via Oh no. Oh no. No, no, no. No, 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 no. That's off center now. Oh no. Oh. God damn it. How did I do that? Are we good? Please tell me. All right, we're back. All right. I'm not editing that. Just gonna have to live with that. Gene Silva, he's gonna take on Arnold Allen. That's a fun fight. That's a very fun striker fight. Who's Arnold? I feel like I heard Arnold Allen was supposed to fight somebody, but if not, he could take. Gene Silva took like no damage in that fight. This fight can happen quick. You could maybe do this on the England pay per view. Arnold Allen versus John Silva, and the winner of this can go on to probably fight for the title. Honestly, I don't know who else is lurking at featherweight that deserves a shot. But the winner of this fight, this could be the number one contender fight. Maybe it could even be underneath Volkanovski Evloev if they want to make this fight wait a little bit. But because I think Volkanovski's gonna end up having to come back in August or September. But if you don't want to put him on Noche or Abu Dhabi, you're gonna have to wait till longer. But I know he wants to fight 3 times this year, and if he wants to, he's gonna have to fight at least in August and then again in December. So you could line this up where you do John Silva versus Arnold Allen in England, in case because this is going to be a war. They're going to need some time to recover. That's coming up in July, and then you do Volkanovski Evloev in August. They're probably not going to take a lot of damage in that fight. And then December, you could wrap it up. You could wrap up the year with the Volkanovski versus Arnold Allen or John Silva, whoever wins this fight. I think that's a good timeline for the UFC to follow. But yeah, moving on to the loser of the feature. Well, it wasn't the feature fight because the feature fight was Lopez versus Yair. But Bryce Mitchell loses to John Silva via ninja choke. I have not seen a ninja choke in a long time. But who do I think Bryce Mitchell should fight? Chepe Mariscal. Now, Chepe's on a big win streak. I think he's undefeated in the UFC. I believe so. These two have actually fought before. I don't know if you guys know that. So this could be a rematch. There's some marketing there you could use. It's kind of like the Fluffy versus Brendan Allen thing. But yeah, it's marketable. There's some history between the two. This could be an Apex main event if you really want it to be, or co-main event. You could also put this on the prelims of a pay-per-view. I don't know how far in the future though. I'm not sure, but Chepe's on a win streak. Bryce Mitchell needs to fight outside the rankings because he's currently unranked. But once Taporia and Holloway get removed from the rankings, he'll be back in them. I'm sure at like 14 or 15. He's just temporarily unranked. And yeah, I think that's a good fight for him. Moving on, Dominic Reyes gets an impressive win over Nikita Krylov. Knockout, like step back knockout, McGregor O'Malley style at light heavyweight, which is insane. But who should he fight after? Oh God, I just everything's getting fucked up today. We still? Oh no, oh no. All right, we still good here? Yep. All right, who should he fight? Alexander Rakic. Now, I was looking at the light heavyweight division, like the rankings and everything, and nobody's timeline really lined up with Dominic Reyes other than you just have Rakic weighed out, and eventually he'll come back and fight Reyes because Reyes didn't take much damage. I don't know if he like, broke a hand or something, broke a bone in his hand. I'm just saying hypothetically because he landed a hard punch. But other than that, he looked like he didn't take much damage. It's not going to take a lot for him to come back against Rakic in, say, I don't know, maybe August. Again, you could have him fight in the Volk undercard again. Maybe July if you're probably not July. You're not going to want to do that quick of a turnaround. Maybe August, September. You could have it on the no-shade card just as a good fight. But yeah, man, I think that's a good fight. I think it's the next step. Break Reyes back into the top 5. If he were to beat somebody like Rakic, he's well-rounded. And he'll be looking for, if he beats Rakic, he gets one more number one contender fight, and then he can get another title shot after looking like his career was pretty much over. So congratulations to Dominic Reyes, and I think Rakic is the next fight for him. Moving on to the loser of the co-main, not co-main event, of the pay-per-view opener, Nikita Krylov. Now Nikita Krylov got knocked out. It was his first fight back since 2022 or 3, I think. But who should he fight? I don't even remember who I put. Oh, Modestas Bukauskas. Now he's fighting. I think he's fighting Ihor Peteria. The winner of that fight gets Nikita Krylov. I just predict it'll be Modestas Bukauskas. But because both of those guys are on, I think 3-fight winning streaks. Winner of that'll be on a 4-fight win streak. And Nikita Krylov got to fight outside the rankings because he's lingering around that 12 spot, I think, after coming back from a knockout loss. I think he's going to have to fight outside the rankings. He's going to have to give somebody the opportunity. And I think Modestas Bukauskas is the perfect option for that. I'm going to actually look that up when that fight is. I think it's approaching rapidly. Modestas Bukauskas. Yeah, he's supposed to be fighting. Yeah, oh no, it's Ion Cutelaba. But either one of them. That's what I mean. I meant Ion Cutelaba. UFC 315, May 10th. Yeah, the winner of that is going to get a shot at the rankings, which says a lot about the light heavyweight division. But they both earned it. Modestas Bukauskas on a 2-fight win streak, and Ion Cutelaba is also on a 2-fight win streak. Bukauskas has 2 finishes. Cutelaba has 1 sub and 1 split decision. So yeah, I think Modestas Bukauskas wins, and the winner of that fight gets a shot at the rankings. Moving on to the prelim headliner, Dan Ige beat Sean Woodson via knockout, early stoppage, and the judges had it 2-0, which I thought it was 1-1 or potentially 2-0 Woodson. I did not think it was 2-0 Ige, but I digress. Dan Ige, who do I have him taking on? Oh, Nathaniel Wood. Yeah, so Dan Ige just escaped with the win. I say just escaped, but like the judges were wrong. Bro. There's no way that was 2-0 unanimously. Even if one judge had a 2-0, like there's no way that they unanimously thought it was 2-0 for fucking EA. But anyway, Nathaniel Wood has been on a little good win streak. He has. I don't know when you let this fight take place, but my guess is you could do it for a fight night, but Danny gets kind of exciting. You could have be on a pay-per-view still. Jeez, I just took a look at Nathaniel Wood's record. This dude, decision merchant. My God, he he's Jesus. Hold on. Ever since 2022, when he's been back, it's just been straight decisions. I mean, the Muhammad Naimov fight, he was getting cheated out of it pretty much. Naimov was just cheating the entire time. But he has racked up some impressive wins that I think he's now deserving of a ranked fight. You're beating Charles Jourdain and Anfile and Morgan Charrier. Like, you at some point, you got to give him a shot at the rankings. I think the time is now. And he would have beaten Muhammad Naimov, I believe, without the cheating, because it was a really close fight anyway. But I digress. You probably put this as like the feature fight of a fight night, or just somewhere in the maybe that prelim headliner again of a pay per view. But yeah, Dan Ige versus Nathaniel Wood. Dan Ige, if he wins this fight, then you could look up the ranks, Dan Ige. But at the time being, you should let him fight another prospect to either get a name off him or have Ige prove that he still got it and he could fight up the rankings. Moving on, Verna Jandiroba defeated Yan Xiaonan via dominant decision. And I think, make it quick, Zhang Weili. I want Weili to fight Shevchenko, the winner of Shevchenko Fiorat, which is hope. All right, if Shevchenko wins, you do Weili Shevchenko. If Fiorat wins, Shevchenko is going to get a rematch, probably just because Dana White loves giving champions rematches, even though she just won the title back. And you're going to do Weili Jandiroba. You're going to have to do Weili Jandiroba just because Jandiroba's now the number 1 contender. And I think it's a close fight, but Weili's just so much better than all these other strawweights that I think she'll get it done. I don't even know when you do this fucking fight, bro. I honestly don't care. Moving on, Chase Hooper got a big win against Jim Miller. I thought he was going to get the finish. It should have been more dominant, I think. But I digress. He got the win. That's all that matters. Who do I have him fighting? I have him fighting Tom Nolan. I know he called out Fereziam. Also, he called out Fereziam or Tom Nolan. And I see people matching him up with Fereziam. And it's not that I don't think he could beat or have a competitive fight with him. But Fereziam is a lot closer than rankings than most people believe. I think he could get like a Chandler fight. And Tom Nolan is like about as far away from the rankings as a Chase Hooper. So the winner of this then gets that next like The winner of this gets like a Drew Dober fight, and then and then if you win the Drew Dober test, then or like a Bobby Green, and then the winner of this is gonna get like a Drew Dober or Bobby Green. Then if you beat those two, then you could look towards the rankings. But Fereziam beating Matt Frevola and oh my god, who did he just beat? He just beat him. It was a decision. I don't want to look it up. Mike Brown. I want to say it was him. Is that a name? Mike Brown? Mike Davis. I knew it was some generic ass name. But yeah, he beat Mike Davis. Beating Matt Frevola and Mike Davis, he's now pretty much looking for a ranking spot. So I think these two are just a step behind Fereziam, and the winner of this gets to go to that next step and get one step closer to the rankings. And moving on, the final fighter on the early prelim, he took on Tresean Gore, Marco Tulio. Very exciting fight. Like that was a performance and a half. Let me tell you. Now, who do I give him? Somebody else who fought on this card, Mikhail Olazechuk. This would be a fucking banger, dude. You can put this on the main card of a fight night, and the hardcores, the hardcores would be hyped for it, and the casuals would get excited once they saw the fight start, because these two would just go out there and slug. They both got impressive finishes. They both did it relatively undamaged. I know Tulio got rocked by Tresean Gore early on, but I think they'll be on similar timelines to return, and they're both just going to go out there and slug. So you'll have no problem making it exciting. It's fight of the night contender, fight of the year contender if they were to fight, honestly. But yeah, that's the fights to make after UFC 314, and yeah, that's all I really got. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, if you think they're good matchups or if you would change them, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.